Hello everyone, and welcome back to the Grandmaster Chess Speedrun, where we are playing principled and attacking chess with the eventual goal of beating a chess Grandmaster. Our opponent in this game has started with a pawn up to e4, and we're going to play pawn to e5 with some symmetry. Maybe we're going to get some gambits, maybe not. We do get a King's Gambit, so I actually made a video with this King's Gambit in it very recently, and we had a nice game with this pawn to d5 Folkbeer counter gambit. This is how I like to play against most gambits. I either want to accept the first pawn, decline the second, or if there's a good counter gambit, then often that's what I like to go for as well. So they take this way, we take that way, and we end up with even material, except their pawn is a lot easier to attack, funnily enough, than our pawn on f4. So we're going to attack it with stuff like knight f6, and if they want to defend it with c4, then they're going to create a backwards d-pawn, potentially, which could be a positional weakness. So let's just block that with bishop e7. I think this move looks very clumsy. They're blocking in their bishop on f1, which isn't ideal, and they've played c4. So this is like everything that shouldn't be done in this opening, because now we're going to attack this pawn, try and undermine it with c6, and the queen's already in place to be attacked by our knight in the future once it develops out to c6 too. So knight c3, they want to protect it once. Let's attack it again with our knight. And after that, we're going to look to castle, put the rook on the center, and, just put some serious pressure on them. Okay, so we see d3. They're attacking our pawn over here. We could start capturing. We could also castle. Let's castle first, just so we can try and open up the potential for our rook. And, yeah, after that, we're going to start snapping. Okay, well, they decided to take, which I think seems very risky, because we can now play our rook over to e8 immediately, trying to win the queen already. So they can't capture this way, because then we can play bishop to b4, stopping the knight from blocking, like this. They have to play the bishop to e3 after bishop to b4, in which case we play knight g4 and add extra pressure. So now they are trying to get the queen out of the way, but this is also a clumsy move, unfortunately. Already I'm starting to think, what if we go knight g4 and go for bishop h4 double checks that look quite nasty, trying to get into f2. Yeah, I think this looks good. We're way ahead on development, so let's try and really start sticking it to them. So this double check forces the king over to the side. We can also consider giving this check and going bishop to e3 or knight to e3. In fact, this check could even be more brutal. Okay, so now this check, they have to play g3. We capture it with the pawn. Well, they don't have to. They can also run into losing the queen. So let's play bishop h4. They have to play g3. We capture it. Take it, take it. In fact, I think they might be losing the queen by force. This does not look good. This does not look good for white. White has broken a lot of rules, moved the queen around, and not focused on developing and castling their pieces quickly enough. So here, I think knight e3 is just game over, pretty much. They have to give us the queen, because the king has no squares. So captures it, captures it. This is pretty rough. They just resign, which is honestly fair enough. And that's how dangerous it can be to face up against a Folkbeer counter gambit. King's Gambit players only seem like they really know the accepted lines that well. If you face a King's Gambit player, really give this Folkbeer a go. It really reclaims the gambit so that you are the one who gambits. Don't let them be the one who gambits. You need to claim the initiative, castle quick, and try and really start to attack them to punish that f4, e4 pawn push, which weakens their king. Okay, so we played that one at an accuracy of 87.2, and they played at an accuracy of 61.8. They played e4, of course, went for the King's Gambit, and we gave them a Folkbeer to deal with. They capture, we capture. The reason we don't take this way in the center is because that just allows them to get quick development with knight to c3 on our queen, which would not be good. It'd be like a Scandi, except even worse. Which is hard to say, because the Scandi's already pretty bad. Shout out to all the Scandi haters out there. But in this one, we played pawn takes on f4. So we capture this way, which allows us weaknesses on this dark square diagonal. They gave us a check. We block with the bishop. And I don't really know. This check was not a good move. They should not have played this check. They should have played knight f3, preventing queen h4, and just continued developing with d4, bishop d3, castles as standard. That's how they should have played it. But instead, they gave us this check. And this c4 move wasn't ideal. c6 is the third move of the engine. Engine suggesting knight to h6, which is pretty wacky. I guess the idea is something like bishop g4. You want to enable this bishop h4 move, so we can force the queen off this e-file. Then bishop h4 could be very strong. I guess that's the idea. Sure, that makes sense. And you don't want to go knight f6 because that would block the bishop h4 idea. So knight h6 is an interesting one. Not sure if I would remember that for next time, but still worthwhile having the knowledge. Continue with knight f6, putting pressure on them in the center, castle the king quickly, and rook to e8. And at this point, already engine is giving minus 3.2, and white's up a pawn. So you know that white is in huge trouble here. After queen d2, we play knight g4. This is the second close to first move. And just the idea is that we want to give this check, and that's about it. It's really hard to stop. I don't really see how they do stop it. The engine's giving c7, giving up the pawn, and then knight d5, which is quite interesting. Although there is still bishop to h4, oh wait, they can't go g3? Oh, this is double check, of course. And then king d1, and queen d6, and knight e3. I mean, yeah, it's still clear that this is great for black, basically. So the engine's given up after knight g4. They instead went bishop to e2, allowed this check, and they should have gone g3, but this isn't a whole lot better. In fact, I think the top move is this, king d1, and they lose a queen. So the top line is losing a queen. That's not really what you want to see. But instead, they lost the queen this way, which was even worse, because now, I mean, they lose the queen for just a knight rather than a rook as well. And we're just going to play like queen f6, I don't know, bishop f2, knight c6, knight d4. And yeah, it's quite reasonable to throw in the towel here. There's really not all that much that you can do. So hopefully this gives you a strong and powerful weapon to play up against the King's Gambit. If you enjoyed the video, please like and subscribe. Also, if you do like my way of teaching, then please send me an email and we can see if coaching is the right fit for you. But other than that, thanks for watching, and I'll see you all in another video. Bye!